I was sitting in the living room of my best friend's apartment with my sister Leah Clearwater. Our friend Natalie had gone to answer the door. That had been about 5 minutes ago, so I guess it was a guy, and he's probably flirting with her. I hope that's a pizza, and I hope they hurry up. I'm starved, I thought, hungrily licking my lips. Ew, Kai, are you thinking of that fat bastard you call a boyfriend again? Leah questioned. I looked at her confused, and saw her disgusted face once again by the thought of me and Sam. Who's a fat bastard? Nat asked as she walked into her living room slowly. She was carrying 4 pizza boxes, 3 hot wing boxes, 5 liters of Pepsi, and 4 boxes of cinnamon sticks to feed the many hungry wolves that would be here. Your dumbass brother, Leah answered, getting up to help Nat with the stuff. Whoa there, girlfriend. Watch that fat stuff, Nat huffed playfully at her friend. I mean, no joke, I share a lot of his genes. Nat giggled softly. Yeah, but you're the smart one. You're dating Seth after all, Leah pointed out matter of fact. That reminds me, isn't it going to be weird? I asked her slowly. She looked at me and tilted her head, setting food down. I mean, Seth imprinted on you, but what if Sam imprinted on me? Wouldn't it be wrong? I asked. Natalie laughed loudly and looked down. Don't worry, Seth didn't imprint on me. I'm just his filler till he finds his imprint, she responded, masking her sadness. Natalie is for Uley. Since when have you been a boy's filler? Someone screamed behind us. All 3 of us turned to look at a few of the guys who had been standing there. Ooh, busted, I sang out. Seth looked at Natalie apologetically, and Nat just nodded. Seth, Leah asked. I already found my imprint, he said slowly. Natalie stood up and walked to her room, and Seth had left the apartment just as suddenly. Geez, men are so insensitive sometimes, I sighed. Should we go comfort her? Sam asked, concerned. Nah, she'll be over it sooner rather than later, a voice piped up. I looked to see a sad-looking Brady, and I motioned for him to go talk to her. Go ahead. I won't kill you this time, I said reassuringly. He smiled and then disappeared into the back. Leah strode over to him very quickly and pecked his lips softly. Hello, love, she murmured to him softly. Hello, beautiful, he purred back happily. I chuckled at them and watched as Jacob and Quill piled into the small space. Yay! You brought Tweedledum and Tweedledummer! I screamed happily. I laughed loudly and hugged the 2 boys excitedly. Aw, I'm not the dumb one, Jake whined. You're no fun, Quill hissed softly at him. Nat and Brady had walked out due to my screaming, and she giggled. Did you 2 just recite Kidnap the Sandy Claus from The Nightmare Before Christmas? She asked with a raised brow. Why, yes. Yes, we did, Jacob said. He flashed Nat a dorky smile and stared at her and Brady. So, you have a new boy already? I asked, smirking. Natalie shook her head and looked away, blushing a light pink. After Sam and Nat argued a bit, we all took seats in front of the TV to watch an amazing anime. Natalie, we are talking about this later, Sam growled out, sitting next to me. I felt my face heat up when he wrapped an arm around my shoulder, and I leaned my head on his chest. What are we watching anyway, Miss Uley? Quill asked curiously. We are going to watch Corpse Party, she stated with a goofy grin. Never heard of it, the boys mused. We looked at them in utter shock, and they returned the look with puzzled stares. It's the best Japanese horror video game that was made into a pretty good anime ever, I explained slowly. You missed the part where it is fucking epic, and there are some majorly hot guys, Nat and Leah squealed in unison. Or in your cases, hot girls, I said, giggling. The best part of the anime is any part with Yoshiki in it, Nat purred dreamily. This had earned a growl from Brady, and he pulled her to him tightly. Hell no, girlie. It's anything with Morishige in it, Leah argued. Emery also growled, but pulled her into his lap. I laughed at the jealous boys and nuzzled into Sam slightly. My favorite part is getting my boyfriend here to watch the anime, so let's get watching before I decide to take his fine ass into the guest room and show him an even better time, I said, trying to be completely serious. Everyone gagged, and Natalie quickly started the show, wrinkling her nose as she sat between Brady and Quill. Sam had shifted slightly, pulling me close to him somewhat hesitantly, and I blushed a dark crimson red and touched his cheek softly as we watched the first couple of episodes. A few episodes in, Leah and Nat decided they wanted popcorn, since we had all devoured the Pizza Hut food anyway. So I ended up getting my ass off the floor since Quill was laid out on Nat's lap and Leah was too into the show to get up. I shakily walked to the kitchen since at one point my limbs had fallen asleep. I had gotten the popcorn poured into a bowl, which I covered, and shoved it in the microwave quickly. A minute had passed when 2 arms snaked around my torso, pulling me close to the culprit. "Kylie?" Sam asked, softly kissing my shoulder. "Yes, baby," I acknowledged, leaning into him. I need to tell you something," he said slowly. My heart began to pound wildly in my chest, afraid of what he wanted to say. Did he find someone else? Has he imprinted on someone else? I asked myself worriedly. He had spun me around and hoisted me onto the counter to face him square in the eyes. "What is it, dear?" I asked, trying to make my voice steady. "I've imprinted." I cut him off quickly. "Oh, I see. I'm so happy for you, Sam," I whimpered after speaking. "Kylie, are you okay?" he asked, concern laced in his soft voice. "Yeah, Sam. What's her name?" I asked, biting back the tears threatening to spill. "Her name is Kylie Uley, love. I imprinted on you," he murmured, pressing his lips to mine lovingly. I blushed a deep red again and kissed him back, not wanting to break away. "Beep! Beep!" I pulled away and turned to the microwave. Great way to ruin a moment, I thought with a sigh. I pulled out the bowl of hot, extra buttery popcorn, popping a piece in my mouth. "Let's get this popcorn to them before they attack us and eat our flesh and use our bones for toothpicks," I said, giggling. Sam nodded in agreement, and he pecked my lips once more before we walked back to our group of crazy friends.